Hello everyone, so my name is Priyanka and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. So most of the people are generally confused and do not have knowledge about the stock market, and it is a very intimidating term. So in today's video I'll be discussing all the basic points which are related to the stock market. So let's get started. So investing in stock market is a great way to grow your money, but at the same time it is very risky and intimidating. So you need to be very mindful before investing, and your 9 to 5 job will cover all your responsibilities but will not cover all your dreams. So if you want to grow your money, if you want to boost your money, then investing in a stock market is a great platform. And stock market not only grow your money, it also helps in capital appreciation. So in today's scenario, most FDs or savings account do not offer more than 6 to 7% of interest if you offer these one. Whereas if you will invest in stock market, then the returns are much higher if you compare to the previous option. So investing in stock market is highly advisable if you want to grow your money. And so the good thing about investing in a stock market is that you do not need a large amount of money to get started. If you want, you can start with as low as 100 rupees, and then there is no upper limit. You can just go up and up and up with experience and expertise in this field. And the stock market also gives you the variety of options to choose from, like mutual funds, bonds, stocks, etc. And diversification is always advisable to safeguard your money. So now the question comes that who should invest in the stock market? So the answer is very flat and simple, that anyone who wants to build wealth can invest in the stock market. As such, there is no eligibility criteria for investing in the stock market. However, you should be above 18 to open your account. So that's the only thing that you will be requiring, that you should be above 18 to open your account for investing in the stock market. So now comes the second and the most important question, is how much you can invest and how much you should invest. So this is a very important point to remember. So we'll start with the first one, how much you can invest. So what you need to do is list down all your assets and liabilities on a piece of paper and then subtract your liabilities from your asset. So that will give your net worth. So definitely you will not be investing all your net worth into the stock market, which is a very disaster idea. So now you know what is your net worth is. Now let's come to the second point, how much you should invest. After finding out the money that you have for investing, answer these 5 questions before you come to the final amount for investing. So what are these 5 questions? So the first one is, do you need that money in the shorter duration, like 3 to 6 months? Is there any expense that you are expecting to meet in the short duration? Number 2, do you have a stable income? Number 3, is there a family that is dependent on you? Number 4, do you have an emergency fund ready? Because in this pandemic situation, it is very important to have the emergency funds ready, as a lot of people are losing their job. There is so much of unemployment, so emergency funds are very important. And the fifth and the last thing is, do you own a debt? Is there any loan that you need to repay? Then before investing, these 5 questions are very important, and try to answer these 5 questions before you come to the final amount. So investing in stock market can be a risky business, therefore do not invest money which you can't afford to lose. Always remember this point. Suppose I'll give you an example. If I own 10 rupees and I have invested that in stock market, therefore I have a risk of losing those 10 rupees in the stock market, and that will be 0. So that is a risk that I can take. But if suppose a person having a monthly salary of 20,000 has invested his 15,000 into the stock market, then he has a risk of losing that 15,000. Therefore, he'll be left with nothing. So that is a very bad idea. However, there is no guarantee that how the stock will perform in the stock market. You need to be very mindful before investing. So now that I have given you all the basic information, let's come to the basic terms of the stock market. So the first one is, what is the stock market? So the stock market is a platform where you buy and sell stocks. It is a regulated exchange to ensure that trading is done transparently. The second point is, what is a share? So a share is a unit which you buy or sell that gives you the privilege to become the part ownership in the company. That ownership can be of a very little percentage like 0.001%, but still you can be the owner, and it has its own pros and cons. For example, if I have bought the share of a company, I have become the part owner, and if the company is performing well in the market, the stock will rise, and the stock which I am holding, the prices of them will also rise. Therefore, I am at a profit. And simultaneously, if the company is not performing well, the stocks will go low. Hence, the stock which I am holding, the prices will also go low. Hence, I am at loss. So, I have told you the meaning of stock market and shares. So let's now discuss the two main important accounts which are used in the share market. So the one is the trading account and the other one is the demat account. So what is a trading account? Trading account is a place where you place order to buy or sell stock in the share market. So if you place order to buy the stock, then your account will be debited, and if you place order to sell the stock, then your account will be credited. So trading account is used for the money. And the second one is demat account. So demat account is a place where your shares are stored in the digital form. So the difference between a trading and a demat account is that demat account is used for your stocks in the digital form, and trading account is used for the money which is debited or credited. So in India, NSE and BSE form the stock market. So NSE stands for National Stock Exchange and BSE stands for Bombay Stock Exchange, and you can access it electronically with the help of stockbroker. So that you now know that you need a stockbroker. Who is a stockbroker? So stockbroker is a person who will help you in opening your demat and the trading account. They will also provide you with the tools and tips and tricks so that you can easily operate in the stock market, and for the service which they will provide to the client, they will charge certain amount of commission called brokerage for every trade that is executed. And all the stockbrokers are operate under SEBI guidelines, so it is very safe to use. Now that you know what is a stockbroker, how to choose an ideal stockbroker. So for an ideal stockbroker, there are three criteria which you need to find out. So number one, they should be having active users. Number two, they will be charging a minimum of brokerage. And number three, they will be providing the best of services. So these are the three main criteria which you need to find out before finalizing your ideal stockbroker. So in today's scenario, there are two types of stockbroker that exist. One is full service broker and the other one is discount broker. So let me tell you in details what are full service brokers and what are discount brokers. So now let's discuss who are full service brokers and who are discount brokers. So the full service brokers, these are the traditional brokers who have their offices all over the country, and they will assist you with the trading facility, as well as they will also provide you the expertise knowledge on the stocks so that you can easily operate in the stock market. And for every trade executed, they will charge a certain percentage of commission which is based on the amount of trade that you are executing. So some of the examples are ICICI Direct, HDFC Securities. The second one is discount brokers. So this is more like a DIY platform wherein they will be providing you the trading facility, but they will not be providing you the knowledge or the tips that you need to have before investing in the stock market. And they charge a flat brokerage which is very minimum, and the brokerage which they charge do not depend on the amount of trade which you are executing. It is a flat brokerage system, and some of the examples are like Upstocks, Zerodha and ProStocks. So now let me tell you how the market works. So any company which decides to raise capital offer few of its stocks into the share market, and once the company gets listed in the stock exchange, people can buy and sell shares regularly and earn profit. So you must have seen that the stock prices fluctuate a lot in the stock market. Why does that happen? So there could be a number of reasons for the stock prices to fluctuate. There could be like any positive or the negative news about the company into the market, or there could be any event which is positive or negative that could affect the economy. And there are different people which have different opinions about the stock into the market. So these are mainly the 3 points which affect the stock market, but there could be a lot of reasons that could be affecting the stock prices. Now that you have purchased the shares and they are sitting in your demat account, you need to decide what is the holding period. Holding period is the period for which you hold the stock with you. So it can vary from few minutes to few years depending upon your choice and convenience. So now comes the money part. How to make money in the stock market? So there are two main reasons through which you can make money in the stock market. The first reason is value of the stock prices go up. So if the value of the stock which you are holding, the prices of them goes up, you can sell them easily in the market and earn the profit. For example, if I have purchased 10 shares of a company at rupees 1, therefore I have invested 10 rupees into the market, and then gradually after few days or few weeks the stock prices go at rupees 2 each share, so I have made the profit of rupees 10. So if I want, I can sell those shares and earn a profit of rupees 10, which is good for me. And the second way is dividend payment. So when a company decides to share its profits with the shareholders in the form of dividend, it is not mandatory for all the companies to provide dividend. It depends totally on the company decision that whether they want to provide the dividend or not, but this is the second way to earn money. So now comes the last and a very important point, which is stock market index. So if I'm gonna ask today that how the stock market is doing or how the stock market has performed today, how will you do that? You will not gonna check each and every stock price of company and then evaluate them. That is not practical thing to do. So what you will do is that you will choose major companies across all the sectors and evaluate them. So if the majority of the companies have performed well, the stock market has done good, and if their prices has gone down, the stock market has not performed good. So the major companies that you consider for evaluation of the stock market is called stock market index, and in India there are two major index, one is Sensex and one is Nifty. So Sensex has 30 major companies from BSE, that is Bombay Stock Exchange, and Nifty has 50 major companies from NSE, that is National Stock Exchange. So the stock market index is very important as it helps to compare the trading and the investing activity, and the main intention of the stock market index is to outperform the index. So it is very important to know the stock market index. So guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, then please hit the like button. I hope you find this video helpful, and please leave your comment in the comment section. That will motivate me to make more videos. And if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, then please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon for more updates. Thank you and see you soon. Bye bye.